Greetings and salutations to my church family, to my Facebook family, and my YouTube family, and soon to be my podcast family. I want to thank Light and Life in advance for making Moments with the Master available soon on the podcast format. Welcome to another edition of Moments with the Master. Moments with the Master was primarily designed to help us and to encourage us to spend quality time with the Lord, in the presence of the Lord, listening to the Lord. And in order to listen to the Lord, you have to take quality time and look at the words of the Lord and learn from the Lord's words, and then lean on the Lord's words, and then try all you can to live by the Lord's words. This morning, beloved, I wonder if you've ever found yourself saying these words. I can't believe I said that. Have you ever found yourself saying, I didn't mean to say it quite that way? Oops, that slipped out. If you found yourself saying these words, you have a problem with managing your mouth. How does God help us manage our mouths? I'll tell you how. He goes directly to the source of the problem. And the heart of the matter with the mouth is the matter of the heart. That's where God goes to change our speech, to change our words. Before he can help us change our words and change our speech, he has to first change our hearts. The heart is not this fleshly pump that pumps blood so many seconds, so many minutes, so many hours, so many days. But the heart in which God is referring is the mind, the mind, the mind. The heart is the mind, and the mind is the heart. And it's in our hearts, it's in our minds that we think, we feel, and we decide. You first have to think it before you can develop feelings about it. Then once you think it and develop feelings about it, you then must face the fact that it's now time to decide whether you do something or not do something, say something or not say something. God helps us manage our mouths by going directly to the source of our mouths, and that's our hearts, that's our minds, that's our hearts, and that's our mind. Remember, the mind, the heart is where you think. It's where you develop feelings about what you think. And then what you think and how you feel helps you to decide to do something or not do something. It will help you decide to say something or not say something. In a real sense, it's not our mouths that gets us in trouble. It's our hearts. It's not your mouth that causes and creates trouble for you. It's the condition of your heart. In Matthew chapter 12, I believe it's around verse 34, the Bible says that whatever is in your heart will determine what you say. Did you hear what I said? In Matthew chapter 12, around verse 34, the Bible says, whatever is in your heart will determine what you say. And whatever you say, you can only say it because it's within the confines of your heart. Let me share a spiritual principle with you that will help you along the way in your day. And that spiritual principle is this. Whatever the heart tries to conceal, the mouth will reveal. Did you hear what I said? I don't care how much you try to suppress it, repress it. If it's in your heart, if it's concealed within the confines of your heart, the mouth will tell on you. The mouth will reveal what's concealed in the heart. That's why we have to control what we think. That's why we have to control how we feel. We have to control what we decide, because whatever is concealed in the heart will be revealed by the mouth, by the mouth. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say you meet a person that every time you meet them, they have harsh words, they have mean words. What does that reveal about the heart of the person who's constantly speaking mean words, harsh words? Well, harsh words and mean words reveal an angry heart. That's an angry heart. You're talking to a person whose heart is full of anger. Let's see. Uh, what if you meet a person that's Mr. Bragg every time you talk to him, or Mrs. Bragg, if you will? Every time you talk to them, they're bragging a lot. Well, that's a person that's revealing to you that they have an insecure heart. That's why they brag so much. That's why they brag on themselves so much. Let's get another example. What about the person who's overly talkative? Every time you talk to them, they're overly talkative, overly talkative. That person is revealing to you that they have an unsettled heart, an unsettled heart. Or what about that person who's constantly critical? Always have something critical to say, always have something negative to say, always criticizing others and always embracing themselves and their ideas. That kind of person is revealing to you that they have a bitter heart, a bitter heart. And if you find a person that's always critical, that's always negative, they have bitterness in their hearts, in their hearts. James, the earthly brother of the Lord, wrote a book entitled by his name. It's the book of James. And by the way, if you're looking for a good book, an excellent book to start studying and reading, can I strongly recommend the book of James. The book of James is principled, it's practical, and it's a powerful book. It's a powerful read. And if you have the time, take the time to read the book of James. You'll find principles in that book that you can live by, practical suggestions you should live by, and it's a powerful book because it's able to change not only your life, but it's able to change your heart. In the 3rd chapter of the book of James, James devotes an entire chapter with how we should manage our mouths. He spends a whole entire chapter. He devotes an entire chapter to help us manage our mouths, to help God manage our mouths. And in that chapter, you'll discover that there are 4 forms of speech. There are 4 forms of speech. The first form is careful speech, careful speech. And the second form is careless speech, careless speech. Then there's conflicting speech. And last but not least, he ends with constructive speech. We're going to spend the next few weeks looking at where careful speech will take you, where careless speech will take you, where conflicting speech will take you, And last but not least, where constructive speech will take you. Because careful speech is directive. And we're going to talk about that, how directive careful speech is. Careless speech, you'll discover, is destructive. It's destructive, and we're going to look at how destructive careless speech can be. Then we're going to look at conflicting speech. Conflicting speech. Conflicting speech is when your words are at odds with your deeds. When your words are in odds with your, at odds with your deeds. And you'll discover that when your words are at odds with your deeds, that's deceptive speech. That's deceptive speech. And last but not least, constructive speech. Of course, constructive here means to build up. When you speak words that build people up, build God up in the minds of other people, that's delightful speech. That's delightful speech. That's delightful speech. And if what we do and what we say matters to God, then what we do and what we say must matter to each and every one of us. And remember, the principle that we learned today is that whatever is concealed in the heart will be revealed by the mouth. I see that my time is up. Look forward to meeting you once again, same place, same time. And it's far better to have God and not need him than to need God and not have him. If you walk with God, my God will walk with you. God bless you till we meet again.